Yo, hey man, say man, welcome back to another episode 26 of Check the Stats podcast, man. I'm your host TCal. Here to the left, I got my co-host Big Mari. Here at the bottom left, we got my other co-host Big Verse, aka Mr. Titan himself. And at the bottom right, man, we got the Raven fanatic, we got the King fanatic, we got the I don't even know the words to even say with him, man. De'Aaron Fox, Derrick Rose. Akeem Olajuwon. I mean, shoot, I don't know who else he like, but shoot, we got the Asian Fox, my boy James, man. How's it going, man? How's it
Doing
going?
good. It feels good to be back on here.
Hey, I know it feels good for you being 4-2. I know
Yep.
a lot of us we can't say the same with our teams.
And my team 5-1. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Man, you must still be off the Galaxy guys, Versea, man. That's not your team. But anyway, going into the first topic, Mar, you can kick us off.
Hey man, what's good, y'all, man? Welcome to another episode of Check the Stats podcast. We on episode 26 with it. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. Hey, Dallas, is it time for a rebuild? Y'all seen that ass when they just got last night? Do y'all think it's time for a rebuild in Dallas?
It's impossible. I think should it be a rebuild? Yeah, absolutely. That team is bad, and I said that for the longest. I said you cannot stay stagnant in a league where contending teams are constantly making improvements to get better and better. And each year, Jerry Jones, his stubbornness to go out there and acquire talent because he thinks he can develop everything throughout the draft is killing them. I mean, absolutely killing them. I mean, it's so many good players. I mean, Derrick Henry was willing to come there for the discount. He lived there, and they would give him the contract. Look at what he's doing. Number one leading rusher in the league, 700 yards throughout 6 games. I mean, the Cowboys needed a run game. And, I mean, shoot, if prime Zeke Elliott with number 15 on and Rico Dowdle, whatever you say his name, or your two running back options, I mean, you in for a long year. I mean, that offensive line, they can't create no movement going forward, and they got a Hall of Famer, Zach Martin, getting pushed around like a little rag doll against Darius McNeil. We've seen it multiple times going on. There's so much stuff going on with that team, man. I mean, CeeDee Lamb and Dak have been on the same page all year long. Dak Prescott is not that guy, and yet still y'all continuously paying him like he's that guy. So now, unfortunately, y'all stuck in this horrific marriage it's only gonna be one ending. It's only gonna be one ending. Dak gonna finish out the rest of his career as a Dallas Cowboy because Jerry Jones won't trade him. He won't get off of him, and they're gonna end up having to bring in a replacement sooner or later. But the suck part about it is they're not gonna have a high enough draft pick to get any quarterback that's worth a damn because they're gonna be in the mid to late teens, early 20s every year with their draft pick as long as they still have that. CD, Micah Parsons, which he's coming off an injury, overrated Trayvon Diggs. I mean, the list goes on and on, but the Cowboys, man, pretenders, absolute pretenders. They should have blew that team up last year after they didn't do nothing. I don't know what they thought. Paying two guys that still was on the team that they still got bum rushed in the NFC first round, and I mean, what are we seeing? It's a very disappointing team. They're not threats in the NFC whatsoever. They just got built to ass. I mean, sure, they had linemen out there running routes. They're running hooking laterals with Penei Sewell. Like, do you know the level of disrespect? The level of disrespect to run a hooking lateral to forget that. They had Dan Skipper out there running routes. Dan Skipper, in case the average fan doesn't know, that's their backup left tackle. And he's out wide trying to get busy on a DB. Like, 47-9. I mean, that's enough. That's enough in itself. They're not true contenders. They're the worst team in that. I mean, I can't even say that, but they're one of the worst teams in the NFC. It's debatable list. I mean, shoot, it's about 4 to 5 teams that you can honestly say that the Cowboys are better in their own conference. I mean, it's gonna be a long season for them, and hopefully they do the right thing and pull the plug on this experiment and restart. But they got so much money invested, they're stuck.
Yeah, most definitely. to all Cowboys fans in the world, got a public service announcement. Dallas isn't good, and it ain't even close. A lot of people kind of looked at the Cowboys as being one of these upper echelon NFC teams over the past few seasons, with the fact that they've been winning 12 games a year and folding in the playoffs. And I guess that window kind of realistically closed between them trying to get to a Super Bowl. Not to say that we believed in them, but they're not really good on their own front. They don't do anything well. Like, nothing on the offensive side of the ball scares anybody. Dak Prescott has been underperforming.
Wait,
CD
Charles,
Lamb.
I think you missing out on one thing. They do turn the ball over really well. Dak Prescott gets the ball to the opposing team really well. So let's not sit here and excuse them for that mishap. They give the ball to the other team extremely well. So let's say that.
Oh, yeah, that's good for 31 teams, but not number 32, which is them. I mean, it is what it is. They can't do nothing well. They running game is atrocious. The passing game is hit or miss. It's CD Lamb or bust. I mean, I like Ferguson and Tolbert. They've been playing relatively okay, but when you got Dak Prescott throwing goal line interceptions in back-to-back weeks, I mean, what more do you expect? The defense, even prior to the injuries to Parsons and Lawrence, they haven't been performing well. I like Overshear at linebacker, but the secondary has been underperforming also. They don't do anything, forget exception, they don't do anything good. It's mediocrity that's been in their DNA for so long, with them getting to this high level of regular season success only to fold in the postseason. And truth be told, yesterday was just another low for them. I mean, I don't know which loss is worse, between them losing to the San Francisco 49ers a few years ago with a quarterback draw with no timeouts and less than 15 seconds left, or the fact that they lost to them again the very next season, or the fact that they went against them a third time in Sunday Night Football just to get that BTA treatment, or the fact that they went up against the fourth youngest team in NFL history to go to the playoffs and got dominated so bad that they was down 32 points in the fourth quarter in the Packers, or the fact that they was getting beat and disrespected so much that they was throwing fade routes to Taylor Decker, their left tackle, inside the 5-yard line. It's atrocious. And it's tough because they have to make some changes, and it's some hard changes, but they're kind of stuck with those pieces that they re-signed. It's not like they can have a lot of flexibility. It's not like they're going to be getting a high draft pick either. So overall, it ain't looking too good up in Dallas right now.
Yeah, just what I want to add is that I was thinking that the Cowboys should have, started their actual healthy rebuild like last season, in the sense of like, I really think that they should have not only extended it Dak, and probably not have should have extended CD. They should have really just invested more in Parsons and stuff like that, because like I feel like Parsons was the Cowboys' best player over these last few years and stuff like that. And they could have just sent Dak to a team like the Raiders, or let him walk to the Raiders by next season, and therefore they can just like get a good name quarterback in this draft and stuff like that. Like, I feel like they really had their best chance to start their healthy rebuild last offseason. But yeah, I do feel like they're kind of screwed for the next 5-10 years. That's what I think they are. They're really kind of cooked, especially with Dak, and and not to mention Mike McCarthy, horrendous coaching. I'll say that, not a good coach at all. And yeah, and honestly, I feel like like Versea said, my bad if I pronounce your name, but thing is,
Versea.
the thing is, like, their defense is not even that good. Like, even with Parsons, like, their defense is just not that good. They gave up like what over 200 rushing yards to us. Like what, week 3? Like, we just ran the ball like right down their throats. So yeah, or Versea. My bad if I butchered your name, man. My bad.
Hey, bro, you ain't the only one, man. It's Versea, bro. You good?
Versea.
Nah.
Oh, wait. Nah. All right. With Dallas, y'all had everything. Y'all had last season to do the rebuild, man. That Jerry Jones is so content with having the players that he's had in the past. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why? There's talent coming through this draft. Come on, pick you up something. Like TCal said, he could have got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry got what? He got more rushing touchdowns than 24 teams in the NFL right now. So that's insane. You know what I'm saying? He would have been a big help for them. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Baltimore scooped him up. Props to them. But bro, it's just insane how bad the Cowboys are. Like, nigga, 47-9. They only scored 9 points. Like, that's insane. But
3
bro,
field goals.
like, damn, the Lions got y'all ass in a box. Like, that's crazy. But Jared Goff, it's safe to say, Jared Goff is better than Dak. Oh, I think we had this talk before. I think we had this talk like many episodes ago. But
Nah,
this
for
goes
sure.
to show for the niggas I was saying, oh, Dak better, Dak better. Yeah, Jared Goff is way better than Dak Prescott. Bro, 17 for 33, 178 yards, yeah, 5.4 average throw or pass yard, whatever. Yeah, 0 tuds, 2 interceptions, and then he had a QBR rating of 11.4. Now let's look at Jared Goff. 18 for 25, 315 passing yards, 3 tuds, no INTs, and then QBR of 71.3. So we see who better. Like, come on now. But yeah, the Cowboys it is not looking too good up there at all, bro. The Div Dub, I know y'all boys are in shambles, boy. Y'all might as well go ahead and throw them damn jerseys away. Yeah, go ahead and recuperate.
Like I say, it's their year. It's the Cowboys' year.
In quotations, they
Just
still
like,
think they got a
hey, what
chance.
they say, just like the Ravens fan. It's always their year.
Come on, bro. We've only been like that since 2023, bro. We have not been like that like every single year. We've been like that since last year.
All right, but moving on to the next topic, man. We got Tyler's top 5, well, TCal's top 5 power rankings in the NFL right now. So I'm gonna let my boy take the helm.
Hey, man. Welcome back. Week 6. TCal top 5 ranking list, man. You feel me? The most effective top 5 list of all the land, man. Charles know, your moms know, my dad know, we know. It's the best list of all the land, man. Starting off at number 5, man. It was a real tough one, man. And Charles, I don't know why you even looking like that. He looking already depressed. Like, I ain't even said a word yet. And I don't know. You nervous over there? I mean, shoot. I know I'm cooking up with fire over there. Starting off with number 5, man. I got the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore look good, man. They look good. My only question with them is the the competition that they're facing of how they're looking. I mean, they don't went up against a couple of bad defenses in the Washington Commanders, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Dallas Cowboys. But outside of that, I mean, they looking like they're getting back to their identity, which is a ground and pound, utilizing their running back. I mean, they have a bell cow back now. They're not in a rotation between 2 to 3 backs. It's one bell cow back taking over. Their defense look real shaky still. That's one of my biggest concerns is the drop off from last year to this year when it comes to Baltimore's defense. But outside of that, Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to sit here and disrespect Lamar. I mean, even though everybody in the world thinks I'm the biggest Lamar Jackson hater, I give him credit where it's due. Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback. But do we care about what he does in October and November and December? Or do we care about what he does in January and leading up into February? And that's my biggest critique with them. So as of right now, they're at my 15. My 14 is my very own Houston, Texas, man. Houston, the first time all year we put together a complete game from start to finish, even though it was against the New England Patriots, even though they're probably one of the worst teams. They're going to be a Travis Hunter watch. They're going to be a Will Campbell watch. They're going to be on one of these top guys in the draft. We look good. That's all that matters. We look good start to finish. We had a little rust spurt here and there throughout that game, but for the most part, the defensive line got to Drake May. And our secondary picked them off 2 times. C.J. Stroud looked like C.J. Stroud. Joe Mixon, Damian Pierce. I mean, we had a run game. It was electric. It was live. I mean, but yeah, and still, I'm a realist. That wasn't the best competition we were going up against, but they say a win in the NFL is a win in the NFL. So you got to take what you can take. Is what it is. I know what we got ahead of us. We got Green Bay, Detroit. We got a couple other big dogs that's in front of us. So right now, keep it patient, keep it humble, but we're at 4. At 3, man. At 3. I got the Minnesota Vikings, man. And I know Minnesota's on a bye right now, and I know they're undefeated, but I just don't believe. I'm not a believer. And you know, I may be crazy. Y'all may think I'm crazy, but I'm not a believer in what they got going on up there as of yet. We done seen Minnesota get off the hot starts as they did 2 years ago and end up crashing out towards the end of the year. Their schedule been, I mean, they done played some teams. I mean, New York, they play San Fran, which I mean, now we kind of see San Fran isn't San Fran. They play Houston and demolished us. I mean, you know, they got some quality dubs underneath their belt. But do I believe truthfully in a full season of Sam Darnold? Absolutely not. Do I think Sam Darnold is somewhat of he's a decent quarterback? Yes. But do I think he's going to continue to play at the level that he is right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, defense is live. They have the best defensive coordinator in the league by far, Brian Flores. Looks are exotic. His scheme is exotic. He has the right players for their scheme. Blake Cashman, Jonathan Grenard, fuck you for killing us on that week 3 game, man. You broke our hearts. You got rampage against us. I mean, for that, it is always some extreme hatred towards y'all too. But you know, that's cap. All the love to y'all. Glad y'all balling. Don't do that against Texas no more if we see y'all in the big dance. But moving on to number 2. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City. They haven't looked good like that. I think last week was probably their best overall start to finish game. Mahomes, I mean, they were going up against one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL in New Orleans Saints. I mean, I think it's safe to say Mahomes had one of the best O-lines in the league because they run the ball pretty much at will against anybody front. It don't matter how good your run defense is. It don't matter how many people you bring up in the box. Creed Humphrey, I can't even name you the rest of the offensive line because I know a lot of people have been getting injured. I know the one they tackled, Jawan Taylor, is offside merchant or a false start merchant. So I don't want to give credit just to everybody, but Creed Humphrey, I think his name is Smith. They got a guard. The name is Smith. They run that ball. I promise you, they get 5 to 6 a pop. It don't matter who the back there. They had a fullback running in the ACL game, and they still get 5 to 6 yards. His name like Steele, undrafted rookie, white boy, wearing 40, toting that hoe. I mean, Chiefs defense is live. Chiefs defense is probably the second best defense in the league, but they're not number one. Number one, man, I got the Detroit Lions, man. And that's not just off of recency bias in itself. Detroit is probably the most complete team in the NFL when it comes to their offense and their defense. Meshed together, perfect team. They got the perfect head coach, very aggressive play caller, Dan Campbell. He don't put up with the BS. He's going to go for it on 4th down if he gets it manageable. Every time it's a 3rd and long, trust me, they're not going for the first. They're getting in reasonable range to go for it for 4th and 2, 4th and 3. I mean, they got a quarterback that's playing at the absolute highest level right now, Jared Goff. They have the best offensive line in the NFL, and it's not even fair. They have the best running back tandem in the NFL. It's not even fair. They have the best skill group in the NFL, and it's not even fair. With Amon-Ra St. Brown as a top 10 receiver, Jameson Williams coming into his own, Sam Laporta. I mean, he's a top 5 tight end in the league right now. I mean, you got a top 2 tackle in the league with Penei Sewell. You got an all-pro center with Frank Ragnar. They're explosive, and that's only offense. Now defense, humongous blow with Aiden Hutchinson. That's gonna hurt. He was low-key gonna be the defensive player of the year before the injury. Now let's see what they do. I know a lot of folks naysayers saying Matt Crosby would be an interesting fit, but Vegas just came out already today and said that it's a no-go. He's untouchable. He's not moving. They say that for now until the right price is thrown out. But Detroit, man, secondary is live. They have guys. And when I say I didn't say a guy, I said they have guys. Brian Branch is when I tell you, man, he might be the best nickel in the league. He might be the best nickel in the league. And he's not even playing safety. Like, you literally got Kirby Joseph for all the crap that he gives for being a dirty player, low blow player, or this and that. He goes out there and he makes plays. He's great at that safety position. I mean, they have guys at every level. Adding Terrion Arnold from Alabama. I mean, Carlton Davis, that's a humongous pickup for their secondary from Tampa Bay. I mean, they're stacked on every level. Let's see how they replace the loss of Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, I know that's an impossible replacement. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, but I think they'll be just fine. I think they're going to make some moves before the trade deadline and become even more of an explosive team. I mean, that's Lord, Detroit. I'm ready. We ready for you. Week 10, when we play y'all on Monday Night Football or Sunday night, whatever day that is, Texans gonna be ready for it. We're gonna have Christian Harris. We're gonna have all our guys back. But I want y'all to get into the list. Give me what y'all think about it. 1, Detroit. 2, Kansas City. 3, shit, I forgot who was 3. It's 3, Minnesota. 4, Houston. 5, Baltimore. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know what would you change on my ranking list. Is it an A, B, C, D, F? Let me know your thoughts.
Personally, I feel like it's a good list. That ain't me just talking. I feel like it's a good list. I feel like you going based off of like who's been playing well, who looks electrifying. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't blame that. I feel like, regardless of the Lions like record and everything like that, I feel like putting them at number 1, right? Yeah, putting them at number 1 ain't bad because honestly, they look like the best team. They look like, if not the best team, they look like one of the best teams in the league right now. They like top 2 best teams in the league right now for sure. Everybody else, I feel like, yeah, they good where they at, honestly. So I get this like an A. Yeah, I give it like an A. I give it an A. I can fuck with it.
James?
All right, so before I add my comments, I'm just finna grade your list A, B, a mid solid B and stuff like that. So the changes I would make is, okay, so for 1, I'll move Detroit down to number 2 and Kansas City up to number 1 because it's like the thing is with the Chiefs, like the thing is like back when we had the Patriots, right? It's like sometimes there were always rumors going around, throughout the regular season that like Tom Brady's getting old. They have no receivers, or it's like, is this the Patriots drop off and stuff like that? It's starting to look like the Chiefs now. It's like people are saying, oh, the Chiefs are starting to drop off. They have problems. They look vulnerable and stuff like that. But, especially come January, come February, the thing is about the Chiefs, the reason why they just win games and stuff like that is because they know how to execute. Like, even though they know that they might have adversity, like whether it's receivers or offensive line or Mahomes not playing well, they know how to execute, with under Andy Reid and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like the Chiefs are still my number 1 team because of execution and stuff like that. Number 2, I'll put Detroit up there because, very extremely most well-rounded, team in the NFL. And yeah, I agree. It's not even close and stuff like that. And, it's just, I think the blow to Aiden Hutchinson, the loss of Aiden Hutchinson is probably what drops them down to number 2. Number 3, I got Houston because that's a crazy, I would say, in my opinion, okay, I think my prediction is that Stroud at this rate will lead the league in passing yards because things they're mostly a pass first offense, and without Nico Collins for the next few weeks, they got Diggs, they got Dell, they got what's his name, Robert
Hutchinson,
Wood,
Hutchinson, John Mechie, Dalton Schultz. I mean,
they got such they got such a passing attack that no one can even guard and stuff like that. That's the thing, and also not to mention their pass rush and secondary is really also holds down the fort, defensive wise. And then, so yes, I said
also Danico Archer, he's coming back this week too. He just got off the PEDs, suspension. So
okay, I see. And then the reason why I got just moved Minnesota down from 3 to 5 is because I've
wait, hold up. You said. Wait, you didn't even say your 4th, so I'm assuming you got y'all at 4 then.
Yes, because I'm saving us my team for last. Is that the reason why I got moved Minnesota down from 3 to 5? Is because like you said, they have a bad history of starting off great, but then ending off the season bad. Like example, 2022, and was it 2015? I think it was
2016.
2016, yeah, 2016. They started off 5 or 6-0, and then they just went 8-8. Rest of the seasons they have a bad, they could be looking like the 2020 version, the Steelers of 2020. They could be looking like them because outside of Houston, who do they play? They played San Fran without CMC, who is their clear-cut best player. They played the Giants. They played the Packers, who were okay. The Packers are decent, but they're not.
They got Jordan Love back that week too, so that was a credible dub.
Yep, and then and then they played a Jets team with with a very washed and way past his prime Aaron Rodgers. So I still think the Vikings.
I know Charles ain't gonna sit there and let him talk about his quarterback like that.
The thing is, like, I feel like with the Vikings, like, I think they'll make the playoffs. They're a good playoff team. It's just that I'm not too sure if they're gonna like go too far in like these, January and February and stuff like that. And now, like, my little rebuttal on the Ravens of why I'm gonna move them to 4 instead of 5 is because, for one, yeah, our offense is just absolutely unfair. Like with Derrick Henry, like running up the middle, like saying like the what do you call it? Really setting the cornerstone for our offense, and then therefore, if like so many teams are going to focus on on Derrick Henry, therefore that opens up the passing game. That opens up Lamar too much, and therefore it's like with that big physical offensive line finally like back on track and stuff like that. It's such an unfair offense. And now about the defense, I just want to say is that, look, I know that under the new defensive coordinator Zach Orr, we are very prone to give up yards. We definitely are very prone to give up big plays and stuff like that. But the thing is about us is that our defense is more about like making plays, such as getting sacks, getting turnovers, forcing fumbles, getting, pass deflections. That's what I feel like. And also like you doing, making, what do you call it? Momentum changing plays. That's what I think. That's what our defense is about. So yeah, I know we're, very, very prone to give up yards and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really my power ranking so far. Top 5.
I respect it. Charles.
You must have been eating your Wheaties.
You must have been eating your Wheaties.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, you got the exact same list I got.
Hey, so that's an A. That's A.
You must have looked at my cheat sheet. I appreciate it. But no, I got the Ravens at 5 because, I mean, the whole thing about them is like, I kind of got a bad taste in my mouth because while they do look pretty impressive, I don't know if they're capable of keeping up their identity. And what I mean by that is, like, we've seen them try to get away from what they are, which is kind of a ground and pound team, and get you with the passing game whenever they can in certain moments. And even with Derrick Henry like that, I just don't have that level of trust in them yet for that standpoint. But they are live. They are one of the best teams in the AFC for sure. At worst case scenario, then you can't tell me that there are more than at least 2 teams in the AFC that are better than them currently. At number 4, I got my Texans. We're kind of hitting our stride. This is the most complete game that we've had. And our pass rush, we took a big loss with losing Mario Edwards, but now we get Danico Autry back. So that's going to be pretty impactful for us.
Bro, Charles, what's up with these dudes and these damn PDs? Like, what the hell? What's going on in Houston? Like, this ain't the first case of niggas, bro. Oh, it pissed me off. It's like, what are we doing? Like, that's the third player that I can at least remember within these last 2-ish years that they got suspended for PDs. Like, come on, bro.
Dang. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, but I do like the fact that our defense has been playing some opportunistic ball this week. The offense is the offense. The running game is finally back. It seemed like it's going to be here to stay as long as we keep that boy mixed and healthy. Same thing with Pierce. We've seen that he hasn't looked like the same version of himself from 2022, but with this level of play that we're getting from him as our number 2, he is a back that he's going to get a lot of people to remember who he was. CJ is CJ. We all know what that represents, and we're doing this without Nico Collins. So imagine what we'd be looking like with Nico. 3, I got Minnesota. I don't trust them, but I got to give them that level of respect. They got the head-to-head over us, but things could get shaky between them and the Lions because they play next week. So that's going to be a real good test to see where both of these teams stand and who's going to rise and who's going to fall. Number 2, I got the Chiefs. It seems like at this point they kind of reached that level of Patriot status where it seems like they kind of are inevitable to a certain extent. But they have some weaknesses. We'll see how many teams are capable of exploiting that this season. And then number 1, I got the Lions. I mean, they got the most dynamic offense in the NFL, and it's not even close. And their defense, they addressed their real major weakness, which was the secondary, pretty much to a T. Brian Burns, Kirby Joseph, Carlton Davis. I like Jack Campbell at linebacker. Aiden Hutchinson is a big blow, but we are now going to be able to see how much depth the Lions have or can add to where they can at least make up for his sack production through the rest of the pieces they have on the defensive line. But offensively, they're a juggernaut. Defensively, they're more than formidable. I think they're currently playing like the best team in the NFL.
Man, I couldn't have broken down any better because you stole my list. But like I said, I'll forgive you for it. I appreciate you giving me the A++, super plus. But Mar, you can go ahead to the next topic, man.
All right, but I call it the ending of that one. I ain't gonna lie, I forgot to do the first one, but I call it the ending of this. But all right, for this one, what is this? All right, next topic, man. On to the Ravens. Are the Ravens legit contenders?
Whew, boy.
Who wants to go first, me or TCal?
I guess me, because you can pitch in as well. Trust me, it could really just be us. Everybody can go, but I don't want it to make it seem like I just got the floor. Like, if you got anything to say, you can go ahead. But me personally, do I think they're contenders? It's hard to tell. As of now, I would say no. And the only reason why I would say no is because we've seen this rodeo before. And just because they look good in the regular season and they are beating up on bad teams, I wouldn't say bad team, because they played some okay team. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'll say bad defense. I'm not going to say bad overall team, because Washington, they can be somewhat of a contender in the NFC. Great offense, bad defense. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. Shoot. Cowboys are Cowboys. The Bengals, great offense, bad defense. I just haven't seen Lamar have to go up against that real test, like a real good ass defense. Even still, they went toe to toe with KC. It was impressive when the run game weren't there. They was toe to toe, but that's week one. I don't really take too much stock off of week one, because week one, I give everybody that the time. It's like, okay, you're not fully 100% there. A lot of the guys aren't playing the preseason. So that's really their first live action since whenever their season originally ended from last year. So I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer in that style of play. Now, can it win you a lot of games? Yes, it can. But Charles and Omari, everybody, y'all done been here. Y'all done heard me beat the desk about this a trillion times. I don't believe you can run yourself to a Super Bowl. I don't care how good of a dual threat quarterback Lamar Jackson is, which is he probably the best dual threat quarterback we have ever seen in at least our lifetime. Since we've been alive, Lamar Jackson probably the best dual threat quarterback we've ever seen. But what's the main thing that I always say about him and his throwing ability? It's always going to hinder you when you need it the most. And if everybody want to sit there and hit us with but Jalen Hurts made it to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, he's a dual threat quarterback. He plays somewhat, I'm not going to say somewhat similar, but around that time, they were kind of close in comps where everybody was kind of like, well, if Lamar can make it to the Super Bowl, if Jalen Hurts can make it to the Super Bowl playing this style of football, why can't Lamar? But you got first off, they played the Giants in the second round. And it don't matter how good of a season they had, they weren't messing with that Eagles team. And then they faced San Fran with no Brock Purdy, no Johnson, because I was the backup. And they literally had CMC running freaking quarterback the rest of the game. So how much stock can you really just take into a running quarterback making it to the Super Bowl? It's honestly, that was an anomaly in itself. But I just don't believe that you can run yourself to a Super Bowl. I don't. Lamar Jackson, is he the worst passer of the football in the NFL? Absolutely not. I'm not sitting here saying he is by any stretch of imagination. But do I think he's a good enough thrower to get you to the promised land? I don't. I don't. Not yet. I have to see it when it matters the most. I don't care about what he does in these regular season games going for 400 yards, because first off, I want to slow it down for a second. Let's rewind it back. How many times have we seen James Harden have regular season after regular season of him dominating the NBA, looking like the best player in the NBA, but when he gets to the playoffs, he's nothing like regular season James Harden. Just on a count of fingers, just put them up. You ain't got to say nothing. Is it more than these? Do you have more fingers than times that James Harden choked? Just yes or no. Regular season to playoffs where he choked. How many fingers do you have where you can recall multiple choke jobs by Mr. James Harden?
Sure, too many.
Charles?
Yeah, a lot.
It's a good amount. You might need 2 sets of hands.
Okay. So my thing is, why do we hold Lamar Jackson in such different regards? Now, James Harden, MVP of the league. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP of the league. Playoff numbers, significantly low. He doesn't play the same level of football that he plays in the regular season when he does to the postseason. So I think my stance on them not being contenders aren't I'm being hard on Lamar. Cause I don't like him. I just think it's more of a I done seen this rodeo so many times before for me to just hop on just because it's looking good in October. I think you should at least have I need to see it when it matters the most. And that's in February in the playoffs when the game slows down and the competition is actually equal, if not better. Because that Houston team, when they beat us last year, first off, for everybody sitting here saying, oh, they beat the Texans. The Texans was not a better team than the Ravens at all that whole year. We overachieved. And that's quite frankly honest. So if you want to count that as a good playoff win for Lamar Jackson, I mean, you can have it. But quite frankly, the Ravens was supposed to win that game. That was the best defense in the league, and our run defense was absolutely abysmal. So, I mean, outside of that, what other game did they have? They had the Chiefs, where unfortunately Lamar Jackson forgot how to play football in that game and shitted the bed and lost the game by 7 points to the Chiefs that didn't even play their best game, offensively at least. So I think they're not contenders as of yet. I think we've seen this rodeo way too many times. I think the only way they can, quite frankly, change my opinion is them actually doing it in the playoffs. So I would say, until further notice, they are contenders in my book.
All right, so since I'm a Ravens fan, I guess I could go up with a rebuttal now. So the thing is, I would say, as you said, like they, last year they really shit the bed, especially versus the Chiefs in the playoffs, aka against a really good defense and stuff like that. So I feel like with the thing of like us going up against a good defense, because thing is because after Tampa we have these games, we have Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Denver. And also, I think we also have the Chargers and stuff like that. That would be a huge test for us. So therefore, it's like, but thing is, the reason why I believe that we can.
I mean, quite frankly, I think every game you just named is pretty much a Ravens win. I mean, for the exception of maybe that Steelers game because that's a division, and it's gonna be hard despite y'all being better than them.
I know that we're gonna win, including versus Pittsburgh. Because thing is, like, we're pissed. Okay, we're pissed about constantly losing. Beating our own asses because they don't beat our ass. We beat our own ass against the Pittsburgh Steelers and stuff like that. So that's for one.
What makes you think this is gonna change?
Because here's why. Okay, so one, learning from your mistakes. Okay, two, okay, the real reason why I think it's gonna change. Because for one, our heads just should not be on our ass, dropping passes, going for it on fourth down, so many times, going for 2 when you can just kick it and stuff like that, like all these injuries, deciding to rest starters, all that stuff. That's for one. For two, yeah, before I go back onto Lamar Jackson's, that the Ravens-Steelers rivalry, it works in eras of dominance, right? So 08 to 2010, it was Steelers dominance. 11 to 16, Ravens dominance. 17 to present, or really 17 to 23, it was Steelers dominance. I sense the tide turning now, and or really very soon and stuff like that. But now until like
Steelers dominance. You talking about for more Steelers dominance?
Nah, bro. But thing is, but back to like us going up against a real defense, because like you said, okay, yeah, we've been going up against pretty easy defenses, except the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs, and in the Las Vegas Raiders.
Hey, hold up. I don't. Hey, I like. I mean, Kansas City, yeah, but Buffalo.
Yes, they have a defense, man. They have decent, above average defense.
They're decent. Yeah, that was another team. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Buffalo, but quick to the point. they pretty much play scrubs up until this point. So whenever they have to play any type of competition, they got bum rush. So I think it's caused a pause for Buffalo and their entire team first, especially defense.
Right. And the thing is, like I said, these next games, like you said, yeah, I agree that those should be easy wins for us, such as Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Denver, Los Angeles Chargers. I believe it's a good, those should be easy wins for us as long as we don't beat our ass or get injured or something like that. As long as we don't beat our own ass, that's what I mean. But thing is, like, this is really a test for, Lamar Jackson to not only like, because as you know, he plays with like a chip on his shoulder. That's the thing to prove the haters wrong, because you can kind of see it and stuff like that. But thing is, like, I feel like this is also these next few games against those good defenses. They're really going to serve as a preparation for Lamar Jackson to play against in the playoffs. Because think about this: if you're going to go, just say if Lamar does pretty good as a passer versus all those teams and stuff like that and beats them, therefore the Ravens are going to be riding on momentum going into the playoffs, especially if they go up against a good defense like Kansas City or Houston and stuff like that. Therefore, like they're playing with momentum, especially in the passing game. So therefore they can just bring that momentum to the playoffs. And also the big reason why I think that we are genuine contenders this year, unlike last year, is because here's the thing. I feel like the last year's vibe for our team was like, it was just like having so much fun and stuff like that. You could just look at the locker room vibe and stuff like that. We were just having so much fun, like on Instagram Live. But now this year it's like Lamar is pissed off. He's frustrated. He doesn't even want to even go on any IG victory lives and stuff like that. He's focused. Like, he's focused until January. Like, that's what he wants. Like, you can tell, like, in his mind and in his eyes, he wants a Super Bowl. Because the thing is, there's only a few athletes that I think have had that mindset. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. Those are the only 5 athletes that I've seen have that, mindset, just like so focused. They don't even want to they don't want to go like celebrate, a simple regular season win. They want to they just know that the job is not finished. I can now just see that in Lamar Jackson. That's what makes Lamar Jackson a 2-time MVP, because like he just wants to do whatever it takes to win now. It's like, you see him like slamming his helmet and stuff like that. It's because like he wants to win. So that's why I think that the difference between this year's Ravens team and last year's Ravens team is that you can just see it in Lamar's mindset that he wants to win the Super Bowl. That's what he has on his mind.
What they say was shit. And that ain't on everybody's mind. So it's a real problem in the NFL. I would hope everybody got a Super Bowl on their mind.
I don't see that, but it's that top the top mindset. Like those 5 athletes that I mentioned. NFL and NBA. It's like I'm starting to really see it in Lamar Jackson. That's the thing. I don't see it that much in really the Bengals team. I don't see it in the Bills team. I might see it in the Texans team. Who knows? We'll see. But it's kind of too early to tell. But the thing is, I really see it in Lamar Jackson. That's the thing.
I respect it. Versea, do you believe that the Ravens are contenders in the AFC? Or you think they're contenders?
Yeah. I think I have to admit that they are contenders, because when you look at the level of competition, like who are we comparing to? Who are we comparing them to? How many teams will we consider to be on the list of exclusive contenders? Like objectively, like how many do you think personally would be vying for a Lombardi trophy come February and January?
Texans, Chiefs, Detroit, Green Bay, quite frankly, I would say Washington, and the only reason why I would say Washington is strictly off of the path. That they have. I don't think the NFC is as hard as the AFC, and I think certain teams could take. I don't think certain teams. I think a few. Like, I think maybe the only team that realistically could take Baltimore out is Houston and Kansas City. I think if they don't, and even Houston, that's a stretch because we haven't seen it yet. We got to play each other. We're 0-2 in the CJ Stroud era, so I'm not going to be naive and sit here and say that we're not. I believe, are we the better team right now? Yes, I do. But do I feel like in the future it'll change? Yeah.
Okay. So from what I'm hearing, you have 4 teams off the rip that you consider to be title contenders, and maybe if you win in Washington. 2 of those teams you named is in the AFC. So at worst case scenario, you got the Ravens number 3 in the conference.
Yeah, for sure. They're 3. They're 3 for sure. They don't go no lower than 3.
Okay. You don't think a top 3 team in the conference has the chance of going to fight for a Lombardi?
Nope. Nope. What? Not whatsoever. Sure. How many years have Dallas been the third best team in their conference, and we said that they're not Super Bowl contenders, and they
Kansas
was the
City.
third best?
City was last year. They were the 3rd seed last year.
Huh?
Kansas City was the 3rd seed last year.
I mean, but still, we all. I mean, it's always respect when it comes to Mahomes and who. First off, Mahomes has. It don't matter if he the 7th seed. He gonna always be the favorite until knocked out. So that I mean that's just that. Nobody's Mahomes.
So what about the likes of like when the Giants won the Super Bowl as a wild card squad with no home field advantage? Like, do we just look at them as like not being able to be a title contender because of the level of seeding that you have in the playoffs?
I've never first what? Yeah, now this kind of all over the place because it's never became to seeding. Like now you're going off of seeding. We're talking about the team. Like where do you think this team is ranked amongst the AFC? I'm not saying first seed, second seed, third seed. I'm saying I think Baltimore is the 3rd best team in the AFC. I don't think that they're contenders. But I don't think they're pretenders either. I just think they're just in that middle of a wait and see. I think I have the right to say wait and see and not just give them just straight, oh no, they're contender status strictly just because of what? Because they won yet and still they won 4 games and we haven't got to November yet because they're running the tech looks dominant as they do pretty much every year since Lamar Jackson has been the quarterback of that team. So it's like you're saying this, but what are we seeing that we haven't already seen from them? The only thing that's a little different with them is their defense is a little worse. But outside of that, what pass catchers are really just making you just like tremble in your bed at night? Nobody. I mean, Zay Flowers, he's a smooth 2. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a 1. I think he's a solid slot. I mean, I think he's a good slot. I'm not going to sit here and just say he's ass. I mean, but James, you got to be honest over. Is that crazy to me just saying he's a solid slot?
That is crazy, bro. You know,
So
look at him.
You think Zay Flowers is a number 1 receiver?
No, he's not. But the thing is, he's climbing it. I feel like he's okay. Here's my hot take. I think Zay Flowers is better than Pickens and possibly T. Higgins to the point where I call him the 2nd best receiver in the AFC North. Because thing is, like, I feel like he is not only the best receiver that Lamar has ever had, but I feel like he just plays with that dog in him and stuff like that, just weekend in and weekend out. I just feel like he plays with that dog in him. Now, here's the thing with the stats, right? He plays in a run-first offense. That's the thing. And also our offense is distributed to everyone. It's distributed to Henry. It's distributed to Lamar's running. It's distributed to Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, even Aguilar and Kohler sometimes. It's just like it's a very distributed offense. So if you put Zay Flowers in an offense like the Chiefs, right, he would go for like at least 1.3K yards and probably like 9+ touchdowns. I think he can be like a 2nd team All-Pro if you put him on the Chiefs and stuff like that, or put him on like what's another team like? What's the team that focuses on one receiver? Let's just say, I would say the Bucks, for example. You know, it's put him on a team like the Chiefs or the Bucks. He would be a receiver 1, and he would be a top 10 receiver for sure.
All right, wait, hell no.
Yes,
he's not better than Mike Evans. Hold up.
As of right now, Mike Evans is starting to show decline. Like he's still like, you know, Pro Bowl level talent, but I think he's already like showed signs that he already peaked. That's the thing.
Man, you crazy. Mike Evans is the most ultimate. That's Mr. Consistent. He gonna end up with another 1,000-yard year. Like,
I think it could end because the thing is like it might stop at 10. Like he might come very close at like the 900, 8 to 900, but I think it might end because the thing is, you know, after 10 years it might be end of the tank for him. Like, no disrespect to him. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. But thing is, I don't know. We'll have to see about Mike Evans this year because
they're gonna hold him too.
It's more of like a Chris Godwin show because things with Baker. Like the reason why I said like the Bucks, for example, is because like Baker focuses a lot on just mostly 2 guys, which are Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. It's like just say if you put Zay Flowers in that, you know, in that scheme, unlike the Ravens, who's like a very distributed team, it's like he would be like a 1.3K yard, you know, at least second team All-Pro type receiver. That's why I think that's why I think Zay Flowers has a lot of talent. And I think this is the best receiver that Lamar has had in his career thus far, in my opinion. That's why I think he is the second best receiver in the AFC North. So yeah.
I don't think that's a hot take. Essentially, I mean, I guess only time will tell.
T. Higgins?
Yeah, T. Higgins might be a stretch, but I mean, only time will tell because T. Higgins been balling too. But I mean, to go back to that, to answer your question, I think the Ravens are title contenders. I struggle to think of 5 teams in the NFL objectively better than them. I feel like it's title or bust with them. I mean, they've been to the promised land as far as like getting close but no cigar. They've had these aspirations for years. Lamar Jackson has been there, done that, MVP, unanimous MVP. I mean, it ain't nothing more that he's looking for other than a title. Derrick Henry only went to Baltimore because not only did Jerry Jones snub him from going to the Cowboys, but I mean, he spent majority of his career on losing teams in Tennessee. He just wants a chance to actually plan for something that matters. The offense right now is humming. The passing game looks improved compared to last year. The running game is the running game. I mean, you got a run-first system in Baltimore, but it just looks like it's even more efficient with King Henry back there. The defense is a little concerning. It's got to improve, and like I said, I just got to trust that identity will stay the same for Baltimore because we've seen that identity change whenever the lights get the brightest. But when you got a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and when you got basically until further notice with McCaffrey being out, the best running back in the NFL as far as productivity goes, I mean, it's kind of hard for anybody to sit back and not accept the Ravens as like true title contenders, at least from the AFC, let alone the NFL. Now, granted, I'm going to always choose my Texans over them. And trust me, we will see y'all, James, on Christmas for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a treat. It's gonna be a treat.
Most definitely. But
always a y'all. He ain't never like, bro. That James, that's the thing with him. He's literally a rival to us. He's a Tennessee Titan guy. Will Levis, L'Jarius Sneed, Kenneth Murray. Like that's his team. So like him switching up, it disgusts me, man. It truthfully does. But we're not gonna get too much deep into it. I'm gonna let Charles finish his point. But
yeah, quick point about that, James. The day that
bro, just go y'all with your point, like, bro.
Yeah. We'll get into it, but
run his ass over, Darden.
We'll get into it when we get into it. But yeah, I don't think it's many teams in the NFL that are title contenders, but Baltimore is definitely one of them. And I don't even know why it's, a conflict of interest at this point.
Mar?
Yeah, I can say that I feel like Baltimore I feel like they are contenders, to be honest. I really do. Like Charles said, bro, there aren't too many teams where I see it's just like, oh yeah, they like way better than them. Like they're most definitely, one of the best teams in the league. So that I put them in that contender tier, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? They have been improving, and I expect them to improve as the season continues. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I saying they're gonna go to the Super Bowl? I don't even know.
Yes, you're.
It's in the air. I don't know. This season it's in the air for anybody to go to that hell, honestly. To me. I ain't gonna say anybody, but it's
not
in
the
the
Chargers,
air.
But anybody else outside of them.
No, we're not going. But yeah, it's in the air. But yes, I would definitely call them contenders. You got Lamar, he's looking pretty damn good. You got Derrick Henry, like I said, shit, he has more rushing touchdowns than 24 teams in the league. That's fucking crazy. But
look at Omari with the stats.
Hey man, look, I've been on my shit lately. But and then I think does he lead the league in rushing yards too? Doesn't he? I want to say he does. Yeah, he leads the league in rushing yards. You know what I'm saying? The receivers, I feel like the receivers got to get some more. I just want to see more production. I want to see like a pass game in Baltimore. That would be so live to see.
That's not him though. Lamar changed. Lamar.
Damn, like it'd just be so live to see them like utilizing their receivers. I want to see like James. I want to see Zay Flowers used more, bro. He is cold as fuck. I fuck with Zay Flowers. He's really nice. So it's like I put them in that contender tier though, for sure.
Yeah, and just one final thing I just want to add is that, like I said, like with these next games after the Bucks, right? Like Cleveland, because I'm looking at the rest of our schedule, right? I'm looking at Cleveland, Denver. Okay, forget Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, um, LA Chargers, the Giants, the Steelers again, the Texans. Like, here's the thing. I believe that majority of those games, including the two Steelers games, should be easy wins for us. That's the thing. But thing is, what I mostly view it as is for two things. All right, is for one, it's really a test for to show that Lamar Jackson is not just a running quarterback. He's like a very efficient passing quarterback. Going up against these like elite defenses, and therefore like this, if as long as we can stay healthy and not beat our own ass, especially in those Steeler games, we can really carry that momentum into the playoffs. Because thing is, as you probably know, over the last few years, the Super Bowl winners are the teams that carry momentum into the playoffs. Look at the 2020 Tampa Bay Bucks. Look at the 2022 Chiefs. Look at the 2021 LA Rams. Look at the 2019 Kansas City Chiefs. Like they carried momentum into the playoffs. That's why I think that these next few games, especially in the second half of the season, is very important for us and stuff like that. And also, TCal, I have one question. Would you rather have a defense that doesn't give up that many yards, or would you rather have a defense that makes plays, gets sacks, and especially makes like momentum changing plays? What defense would you rather have?
And what was the first option?
A defense that just doesn't give up that many yards.
And what was the second one? You said defense that make plays
that gets sacks. Okay, here's the thing. The two options are this. The one option A, they don't give up much yards. They give up like they're probably you can say they're like top 5, top 10, both rushing and passing yards are allowed. Or would you rather have a defense that gets a lot of sacks, forces a lot of turnovers, and makes a lot of momentum changing plays? Because option B is basically the Ravens defense. Like what defense would you rather have?
I mean, I would personally have option B, but I mean for what's that worth? I mean, shit, y'all giving up. I don't know what y'all. I don't know what y'all. Y'all aren't the worst, but the defense is by far y'all weakness, and it's not even close. I think if this is the identity that you would prefer to have, being in shootouts and stuff like that, then I respect what you like. But this, if I want a contender, I wouldn't want to play this style of football because I know it's ultimately going to hurt me in the end because I don't believe that Lamar would be able to perform the same way he's doing now in the air like he in the playoffs. I mean, that's just my opinion. And if he proves me wrong, it's like what it is. Trust me. I'll give him his respect where it's due. But as of now, nah, I'm as of now, no. Not yet. He has to. I mean,
yeah, like you said,
everybody can sit there and like say it's crazy and say that I'm being too harsh, but it's like nobody would ever give Harden his ultimate respect until he ends up doing it in the biggest stages possible. Nobody was giving Giannis his respect until he won the championship. So it's like, what are we holding these players to true high standards based on the performance that they give us, or are we just doing it because they're our favorite player? We got to sugarcoat them. We got to say that they're great and their regular season performances don't or their playoff blunders that doesn't affect our thinking of the player. I think, and that's just not for you or anybody on here, but that's just in general. I think we all need to like start holding players accountable based off their greatness. Their greatness. Like if you display that you're shit, I'm only gonna judge you off of your shitty play. But if you display that you're great, I expect you to be great, especially in the biggest moments when your team needs you the most, when you're back against the wall and they call your number. I mean, what are you gonna do? And we done seen at the greatest of the greatest players step up to the plate and make those plays, such as LeBron James, such as Patrick Mahomes, such as Tom Brady, and all these Pantheon greats. So I'm saying, as Lamar Jackson, if you're truly great, like everybody continuously saying that you are, and James know that you are because he's the ultimate Ravens fan, he's going to end up getting it done, proving me wrong, and winning the Super Bowl. Because at this point, the Super Bowl is a bust for y'all. There's no other exception. Y'all done been to the AFC Championship. Y'all done lost to everybody y'all needed to. The Bills, the Bengals with no Lamar. I mean, the time is up.
Yeah, because what I want to add is that like because this year, so last year Lamar was getting paid like what 20 million, I think, or whatever it was.
His contract didn't kick into this year.
So here's what I remember: 20 million last year, 30 million this year. 2025, 50 million, but here's the big ones. 2026 and 2027, 75 million a year. So it's like, it's really now. It's really now. Now's the best chance.
Woo, Versea, boy.
Yeah.
Woo,
There'll be some changes. So
damn.
Y'all either got to make it or break it.
Yep.
Y'all ain't keeping that party around forever.
So you see the Chargers shoot. They paid Herbert and they let everybody else walk. So shoot, they at least they one step ahead of it. Shoot, y'all
We
need to
didn't let everybody walk. They decided to. Which call it wouldn't take a Keenan Allen wouldn't like take a pay cut. Josh Palmer, I think he just wasn't producing. I guess. Not Josh Palmer. Who is his name?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, my fault. I don't know.
But but it's pretty much what they're gonna do pretty soon if they don't put up the numbers. I mean, they don't produce the championships. But anyways, on to the next topic, man, because we can get into that forever. But.
Literally. All right, moving on to the next topic, man. We got
because I stuck up for my quarterback enough,
Nah, but moving on to the next quarterback. Moving on to the next topic, man. We got the Texans recap game. I'm gonna let my boys as Texans fans get into that.
And we're not gonna break it down for too long because we seen what happened. The Texans did what they were supposed to do, beating the Patriots 41-21 in dominated fashion. It didn't look pretty for the whole game, but throughout all four quarters of football, all we wanted from as real Texan fans is to see some type of complete dominating win against an opponent that we're superior over. I mean, CJ Stroud 20 for 31, 192, 3 tugs, 1 INT, which really should have even been an INT. Fucking Dalton Schultz, sorry ass, since he done got paid, he forgot how to play football all of a sudden. I mean, I've never seen a decline as bad as have I seen Dalton Schultz. I mean, it's just at this point, man, I'm so pissed that we let Brevin Jordan got hurt because I promise you, Brevin Jordan would have been way better in every aspect, run blocking, receiving. I mean, he's the faster guy. I mean, I don't know if as far as security blanket, he haven't got too many reps as that main tight end, but I mean, Dalton Schultz has been nothing but ass this year for us, and I'm so pissed that we paid him that money. But offensive line, some reason, nope, it was very, very limited penalties. I mean, Larry Tunsil, he got hurt throughout the game. Hopefully he's good. I'm pretty sure he would have been good enough to get back in, but the game was a little bit out of hand, so there was no need. But we're a little banged up right now. We got Nico, he's on the IR for at least the next 3 games. We got Lord, we got every linebacker in our room injured right now. Alshire, he went out with a knee injury. Henry To'oTo'o is in concussion protocol, and Christian Harris, he's still lingering with a calf injury, and D'Amico have yet to tell us when he's getting off. So it just we're in a bind right now, man. Especially Omari last year, he's been placed on. I don't know if he's on IR or if he's on the injury report, but our expectation that he should be out at least until the Detroit game. So that's gonna hurt. DB2 out. Jimmy Ward, he's at this point, man. Jimmy Ward lived on the injury report. You shouldn't even expect him to play more than 8 games a year. I mean, at this point, Kalen Bullock is our future. Let him play. But Will Anderson, Daniel Hunter, welcome to the party. This is all we want to see from you. 3 sacks is an anomaly. We're not going to see 3 sacks again. We're not expecting that, but we just want constant pressure where the quarterback know what it is. And we finally seen it from Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson. They killed that line. They killed that line from start to finish. They made plays. Our DBs went out there. They made plays. CJ Stroud is a top 3 quarterback in the league. He's an MVP candidate. If you want to hate on CJ Stroud, I mean, you need to find you something better to do. He ain't going nowhere no time soon. I mean, Texans, our real test is coming up this week when we go to Lambeau when we play against Jordan Love. That's what I'm most excited for. Hopefully, that's a true testament to who we are as a team, because a lot of people can quote unquote say, The Texans haven't played anybody. Well, half the damn league ain't play fucking anybody. So shit, for what's that worth? But Texans, man, we're in a good spot right now. I'd rather be 5-1, not playing our best ball, than 2-2-4 playing our absolute best. So I'm happy of where we at right now. Nico, he is a loss, but I'm so glad I seen the Tank Dell reciting this previous Sunday. I mean, Tank Dell looked. I mean, shoot, for a second we all thought he was ass. We was like, damn, with the first year of Fluke. But sure enough, Tank Dell proved Charles and everybody, all them naysayers wrong that was doubting him, saying that he wasn't who he was, and did what he was supposed to do on Sunday. So it's nothing but good vibes going around at H-Town right now. We just hoping that our guys come off the injury report and we have a full squad, at least week 10 when we play against Detroit.
I want to add this. I like how y'all looked on defense. Offense, y'all run game was pretty damn nice. I like how y'all used Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce. Man, I haven't seen Damian Pierce play like that in a minute, so it was pretty exciting to just like. I only watched the game for a little bit, but it was pretty exciting watching him, turn up the field again. So I haven't seen him do that in a little minute, and it was good to see Tank get back in that rotation. I see he had a touchdown. Props to him and everything like that. CJ, he doing his thing out there. Of course, defense, I like that. I like how Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, they were getting to that ball, man. Was that Will Anderson that tipped that pass and bro caught it behind caught it on his back? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was I wasn't expecting that would be a pick, even though it was in the air for a minute. Yeah, that was a crazy ass catch. Like that was a playmaker right there. That was real nice. But overall, I just liked how y'all looked on defense for sure.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from my Texans for sure. The offense, at certain moments, it seemed like it was shaky, but we stopped playing with our food once the second half kicked in the gear. The passing game looks live. CJ should have had a perfect day if it wasn't for that drop in the end zone by Schultz. TCal, question. If you are this bad, if you feel this bad about what Dalton's providing us, are you going to replace him with what you can get from Stover?
Quite frankly, I don't like what I'm seeing from Stover as well right now either. He looked really slow. I mean, he looks like more of our blocking tight end for sure. Yeah, receiving game, he don't look as explosive. What I would like to see is them activate Irv Smith and see what he can do. We got him. Shoot, let him get a little bit more acclimated to the playbook, and then let's test him out. But I mean, Darn Schultz, you paid him the money, so he has to play. It's not like we could just put him on the bench. But I mean, at a certain point, man, you got to do something. You got to do something for the amount of money that you're getting paid, bro. Like you giving my boy CJ interceptions that he's throwing balls perfectly in the breadbasket, and he's lit like these are catchable passes. Like, and, I don't even want to get into Darty. He makes me sick.
Yeah, fair enough, but shout out to my boy Tank Dell with his sighting. This is his first. It wasn't necessarily a big game that we've expected from him, like from the likes of what we seen last year, but it's definitely a good sight for sore eyes to see him involved to a high extent. Diggs was Diggs. The running game averaged over 6 yards per carry as a team and over 8 yards per carry between Mixon and Pierce alone. So, like, that's amazing from the O-line standpoint. I love what I'm getting from them. The defensive line for Texans fans, what we seen from Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr., that's an aberration because we're not going to expect 4 sacks from them every single week. But the constant pressure is what we've been getting this entire year, and this game was when we got home for sure. From the defensive standpoint, we gave up a couple of big plays, and maybe we could just chalk it up to Drake May doing his own thing as far as like handling his own business, being, I guess, a little bit of a savior for the Patriots in his first game. But when we needed to make stops, we did. Got the strip sack, got 2 interceptions, 2 INTs. Kalen Bullock had himself a day. Will Anderson Jr., that's my dog, enough said. Overall, I like what
Charles, bro, look at this real quick. Bro, oh my god, bro! If y'all would have seen that catch, oh my god, that was a hell of a catch. Garrett Wilson's nice. Go, keep going, but that was nice. That was nice.
I got you, but nah, I mean, Texans, they did their thing. They handled business. When we play against an inferior opponent, then this is what it should look like. It shouldn't be what it looked like against Jacksonville. It shouldn't be what it looked like against the Colts. It shouldn't be what it looked like against the who else do we play? The Bears. It should be what it looked like against New England, and that's what needs to be the standard from this point forward.
I love that explanation. That's beautiful to the T. I pray that we truthfully show our colors like these next couple of weeks because we're not playing on no easy cats. I mean, the Packers are 4-2. I mean, I like what I see from them as of now. I gotta revisit the schedule and see who else we play, but I know it ain't. We got our work cut out for us for sure. We got the Packers, then we got the Colts, then we got the Jets, Lions, Cowboys. I mean, so we need that couple weeks on truly show what type of team we are.
Yeah, no. What I just want to add is that, like, I feel like my take in my mind is that, like, okay, for one, barring any injuries and stuff like that, I feel like the game on Christmas Day between the Ravens and the Texans is that I feel like that's going to be the game that's going to determine who's the MVP. Because I remember last year it was the Ravens and 49ers. You know, it was between Lamar versus CMC / Brock Purdy and stuff like that. And Lamar just proved that, you know, he's the MVP of that year. So I feel like the game on Christmas Day, it's going to really determine who's the MVP between Lamar and CJ Stroud. And the thing is, I feel like, okay, so before and about that game, right, like I feel like, well, for one on the Patriots side, I just want to say, I feel like Drake May is a really promising quarterback, you know, throwing for 243 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, he had 2 picks, but hey, that's against a really good defense. And yeah, like to start on y'all's defense and stuff like that, I feel like that's the biggest part of y'all's defense is y'all's pass rush and stuff like that. You know, the secondary does not really have to worry too much, you know, about, you know, working too hard to lock down the receivers and stuff like that. And then also, you know, like, and I feel what I also saw out of y'all, because like I only glanced at that game and stuff like that, is that y'all really capitalized off turnovers. That's what I just want to say. Y'all did a really great job, you know, capitalizing off the interceptions.
Eric Murray caught that thing right through his body. I was like, yeah, I said it's our day for sure.
Yep.
It's for sure our day. Will Anderson finally, hey, he finally had a real game record game. Like, I don't think I've seen one of those from him since.
That's his best game of his career. He got a pass deflection, 3 sacks, multiple TFLs as well, and then he almost led the team in tackles.
Hey, man amongst boys. I'm so glad he on our team and shoot. He been looking better than Daniil, in my personal opinion. But hey, Omari, you want to kick us off with the next topic, man?
Yeah, I just did the timestamp. All right. What the fuck? I didn't know I do that. No. Okay. All right. On to the next topic, man. We moving on to the NBA right now, man. So, who is better all time, Carmelo or Luka?
I'm really interested in what y'all got to say, man. Because me personally, I'm gonna go with my boy Luka Doncic, man. And it's not crazy. I mean, let's just sit back and let's observe like Luka Doncic's greatness over these like previous. I don't know how many years. I think he's going on year 7 in the NBA, man. I mean, he's probably the most dominant. I haven't seen a guy that came in the league and been as dominant as him like ever in my life, like ever. As long as I've been alive, been keeping up with basketball, like he came into the league. He came into the league chilling, and chilling is 21-8-7. No, it's 21-8-6. Second year, 28-9-8. I mean, this guy has been an all NBA first team guy, not just regular all NBA. He's been all NBA first team for how many years, Charles? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 times out of his 6-year career. First team all NBA is not an easy accomplishment whatsoever. Because you know how many Melo got? Charles, if you want to estimate a guess, so how many All NBAs Carmelo Anthony got as a first teamer?
I'm just gonna say 1.
I'd say 0. As a first team, 0.
Ding, ding, ding. It's 0. And that's nothing against Carmelo Anthony because he is one of them one for sure. But I'll read you Carmelo Anthony's statistics. Not even statistics, his accolades. He made all NBA third team 1, 2, 3, 4 times. He made all NBA second team 1 time. He was the leading scorer in 2020 in 2012 through 2013, and he made rookie all first team. Outside of that, what? And that's no disrespect to Melo whatsoever, but Carmelo Anthony, I think 13-time All-Star. I mean, he's that guy. I'm not going to sit here and say that he wasn't that. No, he was a 10-time All-Star. My mistake. I'm giving him too much credit. Melo, he probably, he's one of the guys that revolutionized basketball for at least our generation. Everybody wanted to be Melo or Kobe, some player of that silk. I mean, and then LeBron James coming up, but Luka Doncic, man. I mean, I don't think anybody has had a more dominant 6-year run in the NBA than Luka Doncic. I mean, he made it to the NBA final, and he didn't win it. I mean, because he went up against the Juggernaut, but he made it there. And I mean, I'm not going to necessarily say he played the best, but it was him or bust. Luka don't show up, you don't got a chance. But I don't see too many guys. Like Luka. If he would retire right now, I'd probably say he's a Hall of Famer. And I don't think that's a stretch whatsoever. I mean, shoot, playoff statistics goes up by 4+ points. I mean, his productivity in the playoffs, he's literally the opposite of James Harden. His regular season, that's the basement. They say in the playoffs, hey, let me read you some of these statistics so James and put his tongue back in his mouth because he seemed pretty shocked over there. His second year in the playoffs, 35.7 points a game, 10.3 assists per game, 8 rebounds a game, shooting at a 49% clip from the field, shooting 40% from the three. I mean, his career averages in the playoffs for his 4 times being in the playoffs: 31, 8, and 9 in an NBA Finals appearance. And we don't even got to bring up what he did to them Timberwolves in that last game to close them out to make it to the championship. I mean, I don't think I should even have to say too many more words. Luka Doncic is one of the greatest players that we probably ever seen play basketball in I would say our lives. I would say our lives because truthfully, we weren't truthfully keeping up with no basketball when them AIs and them guys were like truthfully in their prime. So we missed out on that era. And we was able to see Brian and the Kobe's. We was able to see that. But now this is our era where we're actually keeping up with it. We actually know what's going on. We actually like it's no more we're half stepping into it. Like we're full invested basketball fans. And hey, it is a hell of a time to be. Hey, if you're a Dallas fan, hey, God bless you, man. Y'all gonna be turned for years, but I can't say Melo better than Luka, and I much respect to him. 10-time All-Star. I mean, the accolade speaks for himself, but I mean, that first team holds a little more weight in 5 consecutive years. I mean, I'm taking Luka. It's not even close.
I can see where you're coming from, bro. Like you said, bro, Carmelo is somebody that we like grew up on pretty much, you know what I'm saying? But damn, it's hard because like Luka's game is like he came in the league killing it. So did Melo, but it's like Luka, he did it on a whole other level, bro. You know what I'm saying? He said he averaged 21.5. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So like I don't know, Luka's just a different dude. I remember one time you was like Luka's not even a position. Luka doesn't even have a position. He's a player. Like I remember when you said that, I was like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? But
it's kind of hard for me to put him as a point guard. Like
Yeah.
Luka Doncic, that's like saying LeBron James is a point guard. It's like
Yeah.
he essentially plays the whole game, but it's like
LeBron is a player. Yeah,
yeah,
he can play
LeBron is
anything.
just LeBron.
He can play
LeBron is who he
anything.
want to be.
Right. But damn, between them two, it's so fucking tough. But it's like
But who's your pick?
you
We
got
know you're
Melo.
gonna have Step.
You got Melo, the mid range and 3-point demon, and then you got Luka Doncic, just like a fucking superstar. Like, not saying Melo wasn't a superstar and everything like that, respecting him, but it's just, but yeah, like Luka's game is just, it's just like way ahead of his, bro. I'm sorry, like it's crazy. I'm gonna have to go Luka. I'm gonna have to go Luka. I'm sorry. Like, I love Carmelo Anthony. I was a huge Carmelo Anthony when I was like first getting into watching like basketball and everything like that in middle school. It was out of him and D Rose and KD. I'll be real. And
All right,
Kobe.
so my bad.
That's it. But no, yeah, I'm gonna have to go Luka on this.
All right, so if you're talking about statistically and putting all these numbers, then there's a chance for Carmelo. But here's the thing: if we're talking about who is better at basketball, who affects his team much better? Because seeing is basketball an individual sport? No, it's a team sport and stuff like that. So therefore, who affects? Okay, so with Luka, right? I mean, I'll go with Carmelo first. Okay, so with Carmelo, like on the Knicks, right? You could just tell that he was just forcing and wanting to just go for his own
This nigga
shot.
Omari.
He wanted to just go for his own numbers. You could just tell because remember in 2012 he like Jeremy Lin, he openly admitted that Carmelo Anthony wanted him out because Carmelo wanted to be the number one option for the Knicks. He was jealous of Jeremy Lin. I'm gonna say it. Everybody knows in this world who've witnessed insanity that Carmelo Anthony was jealous of Jeremy Lin. Everyone knows that. That's for one. But for two, with a team sport, right? With Luka Doncic, he knows how to improvise. He knows how to read the defense better. He knows like what move to do, like and what move to do, like that's right, to not only get a bucket or like produce a point, but what's best for the team. See, the thing is, the way Luka plays and gets like what 30 and 8, whatever it is, like night in, night out. It's efficient for the team. Because thing is with Carmelo Anthony, like back then, and let me say this, I think Carmelo is like a top 10, top 12 power forward of all time, I think. But the thing is, like, he was mostly just playing, looking to just get, points and just mostly for his own performance and stuff like that. Luka, he knows what to do for, for the team and stuff like that. That's why I think that Luka Doncic is not only better than Melo, but he's also the best point guard in the league today. That's really my take.
And I love that take. Hey, you could have said it better yourself, but we know we're gonna have Mr. Versea and his wild take. So let's hear it from him.
Man, I can't believe y'all just gonna sit up here and disrespect Melo like that, just like me.
hey, shut up, Big Birds, man.
But now,
Look at
in
it with some
all,
sense.
but now in all seriousness, though, I mean, like it's Luka, and I want to pretend like it's close because I want to give respect to Melo, but at the same time, it's like
Give it to
what
him.
Luka has been doing over his tenure as an NBA player. I mean, he's been in the league less than half a decade. I mean, less than a full decade. And throughout his tenure as a basketball player, I mean, he has more times than not been considered as one of the top 5 players in the NBA. And no disrespect to Melo, I don't recall him being in those talks for 5 seasons at best. And that sucks to say because Carmelo Anthony is a Hall of Famer. Carmelo Anthony is one of the best ISO scorers in NBA history. We know what he did on that block. We know what he did with that triple threat. We know what he did in that mid range. And we know how nice he was in his early days with the Nuggets and the Knicks for sure. But when it comes down to the statistical longevity of what we are projecting what Luka can be based off of what he's shown so far, when it comes to the accolades he's already gotten, when you add in the fact of the postseason statistics, when you add in the fact of postseason success to the likes of Melo never getting out of the second round and Luka going all the way to the Western Conference Finals, I think prior to year 5, when you add in the fact that Luka Doncic has been in the league and majority of his years in the league, he's a first team All NBA player. When you add in the fact that this man was in the top 5 for MVP voting in his second season as a basketball player in the National Basketball Association, it's it sucks to say, but it's Luka, and it's particularly not even close.
That's I guess we put a stamp on that one. It's a 4-0 Luka sweep. So
Case closed. God damn it.
they said next topic to say the least.
Ty. All right. Hey, man. So on to the next topic. We're going back to football. So we see there's a lot of quarterback talent in this year's college football. So who's QB1 out of this year's draft? Who y'all got?
And it hurts me to say this because I was so high on somebody else for the longest, but me, I have to go Shedeur, man. I'm going Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado, man. And not, am I saying he's the most talented quarterback? No, not at all. But do I think he's gonna look the best under a pro style offense? Yes, I do. I mean, as a leading franchise or as a top franchise in the draft, you look for guys that can be team builders. You look for guys that can, despite the situation and the obviously you're not going into the best situation as the number one draft pick or as the top quarterback off the board. It's an anomaly that you get to go to a great situation with great pieces around you and stuff like that. So realistically, Shedeur, if he is the first quarterback, he's going to be going into a pretty shitty situation. But what's going on right now at Colorado? He has nothing but skill position and no offensive line. So to see how he operates under pressure with basically the universe against him, and I'm not saying like the outside noise, but I'm saying shoot, pretty much if you're on the opposing defensive lines or linebackers that's going on blitzes, it's a piece. Like whatever you want to get by them, can I please get by you, sir? Please. Nigga, they open it up and you got a free rush at Shedeur. And what does he do every single time? He's standing in that pocket. He move around. Do I think he's the most mobile guy? No, not at all. I'm not sitting here saying that. But
not like it used to be at Jackson.
But at the NFL level, you want to see guys that are put in positions where it's not picture perfect. You're not able to sit down and read a book in the pocket while you go through option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, and then okay, let me go make the play. Like you want to see guys in uncomfortable situations sit back and say, I gotta make that play. And I think Shedeur Sanders is the perfect example of a guy that you want as your team builder, as your organizational piece that's going to be there for the change because you see it. Like I'm not sitting here saying he's the best quarterback in college football. No, I don't. Like as far as ability, I think Cam Ward is the best quarterback in college football. I think his arm talent, the way he can throw it, angles, shoot. Whole nine, I think Cam Ward is a better overall quarterback. But as far as a team builder, as far as a game changer, I'm taking Shedeur. And I mean, I don't know, that's probably the most popular thing to say, but he really swayed me the last couple of weeks, man. He from what I've seen from the beginning of the year to now, man, he don't got the best situation whatsoever, but he make do with what he got. And that's all you can really ask for as a top team when you're drafting your guy. That's all you can ask for. Can you go in here when the shit not the best, when your situation around you is crumbling? Can you elevate us? Can you elevate us to give us a realistic chance? Despite you getting hit 5-6 times per possession, per drive, despite you might have to run for your life and then get back in the huddle, and you got 40 seconds to put your head, your hands over your ears to get the play and tell it out while you in excruciating pain, because I know them licks hurt. I know they hurt. And we can't truthfully say any top-tier quarterback that's on the draft list is getting this hit or is under duress as much as Shedeur Sanders did. So I think for NFL teams, you have to take that into consideration. Like, Shedeur is basically, he's under the fire right now and he's performing the way he is. Just imagine when he has some type of a decent situation where he got protection and time, what he can be. So I would say Shedeur Sanders is QB1 in the draft class right now.
I can rock with that. I like Shedeur as well, but I ain't gonna lie. TCal, ever since he introduced me to Cam Ward, I've been watching tape, and I'm just like, damn, because I was real high on Quinn. I was real high on Quinn Ewers. I still like Quinn for sure, but Cam Ward, bro, Cam Ward, man. I mean, one of the Heisman runners. I mean, come on, man. What is there to say about? What else is there to say about Cam Ward throwing for 300 to 400 yards every game, bro? Leading his team to these wins. So and he just has like that aura about him. It's just like, yeah, like I'm like that.
It.
Like he just has like, yeah, but he has like that style, that play style, man. It's just like, yeah, I'm like that. That calm,
make you
cool,
hungry.
like that calm, cool, and collective presence in the pocket, and he's confident, bro. And he plays, like he said, he played with hatred in his heart. Like that's live, bro. Like he got that dog in him, bro. He ain't scared of nobody. Like I've seen him make, like, I remember one play, he was about to get sacked. He like threw it to somebody, and he just like kept walking. I'm just like, damn. Like most people, they would have been like, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know what I'm saying, fix their jersey, bro. Just stay like calm and composed. Like Cam Ward different, bro. I rock with Cam Ward, but I'm gonna say I know Arch Manning not going to the league this year. He not, but he gonna be a problem next year, bro. Once Quinn gone, watch. I'm calling it right now. I ain't sitting today. Arch Manning gonna be a problem.
What they say, he really went on a limb for that one. He really went on a limb for that one.
He is.
So before I say this, I don't even watch that much college football, so I'm just gonna make my answer quick and short. Is that this is gonna be the hot take is that I think it's gonna be Carson Beck. Not only right now, but also really in the NFL, especially if he gets drafted to a good situation like Las Vegas. I think he can have a really good career. I think it's Carson Beck. I'm rolling with my gut feeling. Carson Beck.
What as a
backup quarterback? Carson Beck. Ain't nothing wrong with Carson Beck. These niggas laughing like ain't nothing wrong with him. He's solid.
I trust me.
I don't watch that much college football, man.
Hey, let him come feeling for Justin Herbert. Let's see how y'all look. I'm pretty sure Omari would take him over Herbert.
Who?
Your boy
Cam Ward? Carson Beck? Why would I take what? Hell no. What is he talking about? What the hell?
Nah. It's for me, it's a two-man race between Shedeur and Cam. I mean, I think I said it a few episodes. You know, it's something about being able to get the job done with everything around you being as chaotic as it is, especially when it comes to the O-line play that we've literally seen be demoralizing over the past 2 seasons. So initially my answer was, Shedeur heading into towards the start of the season. But over the past few weeks, watching more and more Cam Ward, I mean, his level of poise and his demeanor and his relaxed nature, it just seems like there is nothing in the world that just phases him. Now, granted, I will give Shedeur his credit as far as being someone that could, make something out of nothing. But Cam is making something out of nothing too at times, and he's doing it at a more efficient and more productive level. I mean, this guy has been balling like crazy, 20 touchdowns and 5 picks in just 6 games. And that is incredible. He's quite literally probably playing the best at the quarterback position in a college football game right now. And for what it's worth, I think they're neck and neck. I'd say Ward will be 1A and Sanders will be 1B. And because of that, I got Cam being the QB1 in this drive, at least for right now.
Hey, that's cool with me. Shoot, Cam Ward, he was a close second for me.
I rock with it. Moving on to the next. Wait, hold on. Let me get the timestamp.
Moving on to the deck.
Listen, I mean, did y'all have anything else to say?
Well, I actually am just going to bring in one random subject. So hold on.
Oh, no.
I was about to get into that. That's the last topic.
All right, so for everyone, because I'm not going to answer it, because I'm going to let y'all answer this. Should Derrick Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
No, he shouldn't. He's one of them guys that he was historic when he was playing before pre-injury. Derrick Rose, he a hood legend for sure. I give him that. If you grew up watching basketball around the time, one of the most explosive guards in the league by far.
Number one most explosive
youngest MVP. youngest MVP that the league have ever seen. I mean, Derrick Rose will get his flowers whatsoever, but as far as do we think Derrick Rose should be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, no.
As
Not
bad. Go ahead. Oh, was you done?
Yeah, it's short, sweet, to the point. Derrick Rose don't deserve no damn Hall of Fame. Now, is he well respected and shoot?
In basketball,
we won't tolerate no Derrick Rose slander, not at all. I respect Derrick Rose for everything he's done. And shoot, the whole basketball community when he retired, shoot, it was a sad day. It was a sad. It felt a little off that day when he retired. Damn.
Yeah, I cried.
It was weird,
bro.
I know you cried a couple times.
It was for sure weird seeing him retire, especially him being like, bro, I had D Rose jerseys and everything like that, bro. Bro, y'all know what I'm talking about. This nigga did not know. He wasn't with me, bro. I was in middle school. So anyway, bro, I did have a D Rose jersey. I did. But nah, he was for sure like my favorite player in middle school and everything like that. But anyway, do I feel like he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame? I ain't gonna lie, he didn't do enough to be in the Hall of Fame. Yes, he won MVP, the youngest MVP in the league or whatever to win that mug. But like, if we being real, bro, as live as it would be to see D Rose, you know, being a Hall of Fame, we see him get elected into the Hall of Fame, bro. It ain't gonna happen, bro. And it sucks to say that, but like maybe if he had like a few more seasons under his belt when he was still in this prime, now we talking. Like he had 5-6 more seasons, and he was playing the way he was when he was before he got hurt and everything like that. Now we talking. Now D Rose, hell yeah, he going to the Hall of Fame, but like we gotta be real, bro. He's not going to the Hall of Fame, and it sucks because of a ACL tear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got personal experience with that, so I already know how much that hurt him.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, I want to be sympathetic. Like the Basketball Hall of Fame is not the NBA Hall of Fame. Like it's the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Like that goes for college too. So like, I want to give him his props. So I mean, if he gets in, it's off of his strength of his totality of his career instead of just what he done in the pros. But if we're going off of the pros, then I guess it's two sides to the coin. It's like, are we really going to let someone who had essentially one great season derail by injury?
He had three.
I'm gonna say, yeah, he did have like
three.
Okay, he had
2010, 2011, 2012.
And I'm not no hater. But I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, when I say one great season, I mean, he obviously played more than one good season, but I'm just focusing on his MVP year for the sake of it. It's like two sides of the coin. It's like, are we going to let someone who had this super short prime, you know, get into the Hall of Fame when nothing else outside of his prime has kind of lived up to that level that we've seen Derrick Rose reach? And then on the other side, it's like, are we going to leave out the youngest MVP in NBA history? That's a tough decision for whoever the voters are. So I'm rooting for him to get in, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to invest a whole lot of stock into it.
I feel like they're going to put him in there. I got a feeling they might, but only because of its ability to, like, come back from – he had, 2 ACL tears, I believe?
He had an ACL tear. He had 2 meniscus tears. Yeah. And he had, I think it was an LCL tear, another one. Yeah. And then he had a bunch of upper body and stuff like
that.
And
he basically killed his knees.
Yeah.
And he still came back and played for another, I don't know how many seasons.
He averaged anywhere between 16 points to 19 points, after that, per season. So yeah. What?
Bro, look at this stuff, bro. Bro. He just missed the fuck out. Bro, he just missed the shit out this hole.
He's so trash.
But yeah, to add my point, I'm gonna make it very short because we got some stuff to do. So here's the thing: if you're talking about just a basketball perspective, a guy who could just bring the ball up the court, and then the defense is pretty much set back. And the lane is pretty much clogged, with all 5 defenders. And for him to just slice through the lane and just do some crazy acrobatic layup, with just 5 inches of space and just still hit that layup, at will, time after time, do that at least 6 times a night. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. If you're talking about career accomplishments wise, I will be very honest and say, as much as it hurts me to say this, no, I just don't think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But I think the Bulls will and should retire his number. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Win
Nah,
City
for sure. They
Assassin.
need to they retire his jersey, man. That's
The
that's
goddamn Win City Assassin.
Yeah.
Only me and James
Shut
know
up.
about D Rose. These other
Yep.
teams,
Hold on.
they LeBron fans and shit.
Mari, don't tell me you learning these capping tricks from
Dude, all
TCal.
his shoes, man. I got almost all of his shoes I wore in his primes. All this stuff, bro.
Damn, hold on. Pick him back up.
Pick him back up. When I was in
Yeah. Hold on. See, I got these are the shoes he wore in his MVP season.
The ones in your right hand, I wanted those. Them the only ones I wanted. But I got the Brendas. I got the ones that came out with Wizard.
And the crazy lights. 9 ounces, bro. 9 ounces.
I did have a crazy.
I can go to the house and show you the box. I still got the shoes and everything.
See, the two lightest basketball shoes ever. These crazy lights and the Kobe 8 systems. Those are the two lightest shoes of all time. They're in the 9 ounces. They're less than 10 ounces.
Hey,
you're not the only one, James. I got me some D Roses too, but I had them back. I had them back in the day. Like when I used to play with them total package teams. My mom used to buy me them D Roses, so for sure I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know you remember them crazy lights too, TCal, when we was in SYBA.
Oh, dang, I did have them crazy lights. I used to have some D Roses.
I'm talking about me.
Charles did have only like one pair of hooping shoes. That's because that's all he wanted. He had some hyper dunks. He had them Shaqs from back when he was playing. And
I never have on no shit.
I mean,
you say
talking about the best hoop shoes on this podcast or what?
Oh, and the crazy because Kobe's really, I don't fuck with Kobe. Like hooping in them, like that's an ankle roll waiting to happen, bro.
You didn't fuck with the Kobe 8s?
High top, yeah.
The 8s are
Kobe 8s are like the best shoes I ever fucking hooped in. Are you
same
serious?
here? Yeah, the 8s are my favorites.
Y'all ain't never had no real ankle injuries. Shoot, you ain't never. Hey, the moment you get your real ankle injury, I promise you ain't gonna be like.
My shoes up super tight. I didn't need to worry about that.
I learned my lesson with them KD 7s.
Here's the thing: the 8s are. I know they're low to the ground like that, but the thing is, it's about the ankle support, like over here. That's the thing. That's what keeps the ankle and Achilles sturdy. That's really what's it about. That's the thing.
Literally,
one thing sure used to get sturdy on Charles when we used to play, man. I used to be busting his boy. I got videos
of what? Him. You doing what to him? When you say you doing what to him,
bro?
You walked into that one, T. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I got videos of me cooking Charles on the court, so just know that
they got evidence.
Ooh. Hey, vice versa.
What?
Like he said, he cooking your ass. Shit. What we?
They said shit. Charles must have been out that Galaxy gas because that ain't never happened.
The day that I believe every word that come out of TCal mouth is the day they John Fish.
Hey, but with that being said, man, James, I appreciate you making it on for the late notice, man. I appreciate you, man. We need to get you back on again, especially when that Ravens Texans matchup coming back on. You know, we got to have you on before pregame little show. And, by then we're going to have a special. It's going to be a little special surprise. We can't spill all our secrets right now, but CDS is going to open up. We're going to be improving. We got a lot more coming up soon, man. So we appreciate you if you made it to the end of the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Go follow my boy James on all his social medias at TheAsianFox, TikTok famous, YouTube, you name it. James on it. Show support, man. Follow my boy Versea. Follow Omari, man. Follow all of us, man. It's going to get spooky real soon, man. We appreciate y'all support. Versea, you want to close it out, man?
Hey, James. Before I close it out, you going to the game on Christmas?
Probably not, because I'm actually going to be spending time with my family. Because every Christmas I always spend time with my family in Florida. That's the thing.
Shoot, we wish Charles would do it. Shoot, Charles, he ain't never spent no time with us.
You still got that cap on your head, so I mean, whatever you saying, it ain't gonna mean nothing. He turned off.
Oh yeah, another question for TCal. I know that we haven't done this in so long, but where do you hoop at more? Do you hoop at parks more or gyms more? Where do you hoop at more?
Gyms for sure.
Okay.
Gym for sure. Like they say, shit, them parks gonna mess up your knees.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because thing is, I found some park runs, but it's in like full shear. That's the thing.
Ooh. What they say, we'll talk about that off air, but jeez, he's talking about some full share. They said that close by Mari. That's Mari territory.
That is kind of close to PV. That's what's crazy. I didn't know how close like they were to each other.
Yeah, Friday nights, that's when they have the runs and stuff like that. I'm thinking of just pulling up there and just like getting someone to record.
Bro, you need to bring Charles with you, bro.
Definitely, bro. Oh yeah, Charles, I'll follow you for sure. Like once we get off and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, most
Charles,
definitely.
hurry up with it so we can chop it up afterwards.
Yeah,
for sure. Hey, if y'all need the facts, come check the stats. We out.
Definitely.